Good morning, students. Welcome to the class of social science. Today we are going to start with the chapter 1. Let's know the history. In your curriculum of standard 6, we will know about an interesting subject of social science. Social science gives us information about social world of man like geography, economics, social condition and institutions, political activities and organizations. Subjects other than history introduce us with social life of present time, while history gives us information about past of human society, with the help of which we know our present. Is it possible for us to know about social life of present time without having knowledge of past? How was man's life when he had not started using fire? Imagine how must have been life of people without agriculture, roads, transportations, houses, etc. History gives us information regarding all such aspects. History takes us to a different world of past. It gives us the information about customs and traditions, beliefs, diet, and dress of the people of the different generations. We feel as if we are wandering in some other world. You must be thinking, why should we study about human society of the past? History is not only related with the matter of past but also act as a oracle with the current system. What were our ancestors? Where did they live? What did they eat? History gives us information about many such matters. It informs us about changes that have occurred in human life. So it's all about where, when, and how. Whenever something comes around in front of us, we always think about from where it came from, when, and how. So we are always eager to know about our past and the modernization which took place then on. For example, when we think about the mobiles, touchscreen mobiles, mobile and telephone, we will always think about who invented it, when it was invented, where it was invented, and how it was invented. In the same way, we always think about the agriculture, roads, transportation, houses, etc. And only the history gives us information regarding all such aspects and about the changes that have occurred in human life. Coming to the next topic, tools and resources to know history. Chintan read in a newspaper, a 4,000 years old city has been discovered in Kutch of Gujarat. He was surprised. How can we know that this city is 4,000 years old? Who might have built it and how? What was the diet of the people there? What type of clothes they must have been wearing? How can we know history? We have different tools to know history. First, Tatpatras and Bhojpatras, which is made out of palm leaves and beech bark. In the ancient times, men used palm leaves and beech bark for writing, what we call as manuscripts today. Tatpatras means manuscripts written on the leaves of palm. Bhojpatras means manuscripts written on beech bark, which is found in the Himalayas. With the help of manuscripts written on palm leaf and bark of beech, we get information about their language and lifestyle. Many such manuscripts have been found. Manuscripts written on palm leaves and bark of beech gives us information about the men of ancient India. Such manuscripts have been preserved in temples and monasteries. They have text in Sanskrit, Prakrit and Tamil. Even poems, dramas, stories and epics were also written on Tatpatras and Bhojpatras. They have also been preserved in the form of books. They give us knowledge about the customs and traditions, social beliefs, lifestyle of the king, science, education, medicines, animals, etc. So we can make out the history through various different tools. Like first we started with the manuscripts Tatpatras, which was made out of dried palm leaves. Bhojpatras, which was made out of beech bark, which is also known as the skin of bouch tree, on which the info about the ancient king was been written down, and of which many were being destroyed by the insects, but few of them are still kept in the temple viharas and in the government museums. Inscriptions. Articles which are carved on the metals and stones are called as stone inscriptions. We can know about the history from stone inscriptions. Many times inscriptions were done on metal also. Kings used to conserve with people by carving his orders and commands on these rocks. Many kings and queens have inscribed information about their kingdom, victories, religion and culture on these stones. Stone inscriptions of Ashoka are very famous records, and inscriptions written on this are long lasting, and the stone inscription of Ashok is there in Junagadh city of Gujarat. Moving ahead, so it's a carving on the metal and stone, which was done by the ancient kings and queens to pass on the information about their kingdom to the next generation. Moving ahead with the third topic, copper plates, Tamrapatras. The text which is engraved on the copper sheets is called Tatpatras. Many kings have engraved information about their administration and donation on Tatpatras. Such Tatpatras have been found in Gujarat in large number. They gives us information about the religion, administration and donation. Such Tamrapatras have been preserved in Hemachandra Library in Patan, North Gujarat, LD Institute of Indology, Navrangpura, Ahmedabad, BJ Learning Institute and Research Studies in Vidya Bhavan, Ahmedabad, Sri Mahavir Jain Aradhana Kendra, Koba, Gandhinagar. So it's a text engraved on copper sheets which acknowledge us about the administration and working pattern of the kingdom. Moving ahead with the topic coins. Coins are also an important sources to know about history. We get information about the name of the king, his religion, culture and time from these coins. Panchmark coins of 5th century BC have been found in India, which is the oldest coin. Other than this, gold, silver and copper coins of Greek kings, Mauryan age, Gupta age have been also found here. They gives us information about the social, religious, economic and political structure of that state. So even coins had played an important part to acknowledge us about the history and how their social, religious, economic and political structure was. And the coins created by pressing metal, gold, silver and copper piece in the mold are called as Panchmark coins. So moving ahead with the topic, archaeologists, historians and travelers. History means information given by the archaeologists about the past of the human society on the basis of their research. They go to the ancient places and dig out the houses, coins, bricks, stones, implements, sample of the foods, bones of the man and animals, etc. and study them and make us aware about the culture of the men of that time. So talking about the archaeologists, these people go to the historical places to find out the remains of the ancient times which got buried underneath the earth with the passage of time. So these people dig it out and help us to know more about the ancient history. Same kind of activity is shown on the History Channel in the show Ancient Aliens. Man has been wandering from one place to another since ancient times. Many travelers have visited other countries to know life of the people over there. From the travel details of such travelers, we get information about the history and the culture of the country. It includes the travelers like Megasthenes, Pliny, Fahian, and Yunzhang. So, in the same way, traveling exposed you to new places, people, and culture. You will have a wider view towards this world. By being exposed to the new places, people, and culture, it will help you know about their history and can help you out being a better, rounded global citizen. Researches of archaeologists and historians gives us glimpses of the great civilization which flourished in the northwest region on the bank of river Indus. In India, many cities existed more than 4,500 years ago. In the same way, it can also be known that many cities developed on the bank of river Ganga and nearby about 2,500 years ago. All these tools gives us information about customs, food, attire, technology and culture of the people of that time. By exploring many cities and villages, they have given us information regarding cotton, barley and wheat. Besides this, they have also given us the information about the animals of that time. Archaeologists are the scholars who study about the past. They categorize the tools found, do researches, collect data from the manuscripts, documents, archives, and then scribe them in a rigorous way. Archaeologists and historians bring past to life. So, this is how historians collect and evaluate information from many primary sources to solve the queries regarding the historical events. And even they may analyze written records, physical artifacts, and other types of evidence during the course of their investigations. Moving ahead with another topic, name of the land. We know our country by two names, India and Bharat. The word India is derived from Indus, which is called as Sindhu in Sanskrit. People of ancient Iran and Greece were familiar with the river Indus. They came into contact with this region around 2600 years ago. The Iranians called the river Indus as Hindus, and the people of Greece called it as Indus. They knew the east bank of the river as India. We know about the name Bharat from Rig Veda. A group of people named Bharat came to settle in northwestern India. It is from their name that our country came to be known as Bharat. This group is also mentioned in the early work of Sanskrit in Rig Veda. So it was derived from the river Indus, the valleys around which were the home of the early settlers. The Aryan worshippers referred to the river Indus as Sindhu, and the Persian invaders converted it into Hindu. So the name Hindustan combines Sindhu and Hindu, and thus majorly referred as the land of Hindus. Moving to the last topic, dateline. Time is very important in our history. Events can be written along with the time and place. We can relate time with date, month and year, such as July 20th, 2018, Friday. As per it, time is associated with the birth of Jesus Christ. Birth of Jesus Christ, founder of Christianity, has been associated with dateline. We call it as Anno Domini, AD, which means years after the birth of Jesus Christ. Example, 2000 AD means 2000 years after the birth of Jesus Christ. Similarly, BC, before Christ, means years before the birth of Jesus Christ. Example, 2000 BC means 2000 years before the birth of Jesus Christ. Now below there, the dateline has been given there. I request you to follow it thoroughly. Often it is written as CE instead of AD, and BCE is written instead of BC. CE means Common Era, while BCE means Before Common Era. As Christianity is associated with most nations of the world, we use the same dateline in India as in many nations. In many cases, the word BP is also used, which means before present. So I hope you are clear with the dateline. So let's revise it once according to its sequence. Like first, BCE, before Common Era, or BC, that means before Christ, years before the birth of Jesus Christ. Second, CE means Common Era, or AD, Anno Domini, years after the birth of Jesus Christ. And so, like we already discussed that Christianity is associated with most of the nations of the world, we too also follow the same dateline. I hope everything is clear up to my knowledge is concerned, and if still you have any doubt, please refer the video once again thoroughly. Thanks and have a nice day ahead.